Welcome back to Unquiet You. Why is it that when someone compliments us, we brush it off, but when someone criticizes us, we can carry it for days? Today, we're going to talk about why compliments are so hard to receive, and yet criticism is so easily digested and sits with us for a while. If you have a compliment, someone compliments you and says that you look amazing today, is your response, oh, that's just an old dress, or I got this dress from Target, or I got it on sale? That seems to be a big one, especially for women. When you're complimented on your outfit, it's always like you want to tell them the deal you got or where you got it from or something. And instead of just saying like, thank you, because they're actually complimenting you, not necessarily the dress or the outfit. When someone insults you by saying things like, you look like you gained a little weight, your response in your head plays out 1,000 times over and over. And every time you look in the mirror, you're like, have I gained weight? Do I look like I've gained weight? And what we do is we allow the insult to carry, but that compliment that was given to us earlier has gone away within seconds. We don't even think twice about the compliment. Today, we're going to unpack the psychology behind this, and more importantly, like how to shift the balance so that compliments can stick just as deeply as insults, and that insults no longer affect our days over and over and over. I used to always deflect compliments. I would always, when someone would compliment me, I would assume it was that they wanted something, or maybe they were just trying to get a compliment back. I would always just brush it off like, oh, they're just being nice, right? Rather than a compliment I got actually last night. I had picked up some food I had ordered, and it was a young girl that came out and carried the food. And as she was walking out, I had my window down, and she was like, "You're so pretty." And at first, the old me would have been like, what does she want? Does she want a tip, or what does she want? But I was like, oh, wow, thank you. Like she didn't have to say that. And it was actually just a very nice thing that she said. Another thing that I realized is that I used to let insults stick. When people would say, you're too loud, or you're overthinking this, or insult kind of a decision that I've made, I would like replay it over and over and over and ask myself, maybe I was wrong. Maybe they were right. Why would they insult me? Like, what could I have done differently? Instead of just saying like, that was them. That was a thought that they were having, and I don't have to choose to receive that. We choose not to receive compliments, but we pretend like we can't choose to not receive an insult. We get the choice when someone compliments us to accept it for what it is. And we get the choice when someone gives us a insult that we get to choose whether or not we want to keep that insult or we want to release that and let it go. Self-belief doesn't match the compliment, right? So if your self-belief doesn't match the compliment someone's giving you, it's really hard for you to take it in. It's really hard for you to accept it. And it's really hard for you to not doubt what that person was saying. If deep down you don't believe you're beautiful, then someone telling you that you're beautiful is really, really hard for you to accept. It's like trying to pour water into a closed container. It's just going to roll right off. You're not able to absorb that water. We're also taught, don't be arrogant, don't brag, don't be the person that like gets excited for compliments, be very humble in what you're doing. But what happens when we do that is that we're deflecting compliments to feel polite, but you're actually just rejecting someone's gift that they're giving you in that moment. You're rejecting someone's gift of saying to you, you're a nice person. You're very beautiful. I like the outfit you have on today. That color looks really, really great on you. I was walking through a mall one day, and this lady was walking towards me, and you could tell that she was like feeling good that day. She had on a really pretty green dress. You could just tell she was feeling herself. And as she walked up to me, she was about to pass me, and I stopped her and I said, that green dress looks so good on you. And like, you look beautiful today. And she said thanks and kind of kept walking. My youngest was with me at the time, and she was like, what are you doing? And I just said, I think that girl just looked amazing in her dress. She came back around a few minutes later, and she had just gotten done from an interview, and we just happened to cross paths in the mall as we looped around. And she stopped me and she was like, it took me a minute to take in your compliment, but I felt really good in myself today. And that compliment actually happened as I was walking into this interview, and it just helped me feel a little bit more confident walking in. So I love to compliment people when I see or notice things because I want them to feel confident in who they are. I want to have people acknowledge that we do see the good in people. I love to see people smiling. Or there was a lady in our neighborhood, one of my old neighborhoods, who would change her door hanger. I think it felt like it was every day, but I think it was like every week. But she always had a new door hanger. I passed her driveway, her front door every day, taking my daughter to and from school. And every day we would talk about the door hanger, and I would say, oh, that one's really cute. Or it would be a theme, or maybe it was just something different colors or something. And one day I saw her walking out to her car as we were coming up. And so I stopped and I rolled the window down and I said, I really like your door hangers. I really like them. Just wanted to let you know. Well, come to find out, her husband had just passed away 2 years before. And that was just a small little thing that brought her joy, was pulling into her house and seeing the door hangers and having something fun and different on her door. And it was such a cool story, but she really didn't think anyone paid attention to her door hangers. But it was also something that created a conversation between my daughter and I driving to and from school, because it was always like, what's the door hanger she's going to have today? And so it's just a fun way of expressing to other people happy thoughts that you have them. Have you ever been somewhere where I've been in a room where someone's personality was just so bright and so cheerful, and I just had to tell them because they made me feel cheerful and excited and happy. And I just wanted them to know that. I hoped that they accepted it, but I feel like sometimes we don't accept it because we feel like if we just say thank you and accept it, that something's wrong with us, right? We're supposed to give a compliment back. And that's one of the biggest things I remember teaching my kid or all of my kids, is that when I compliment you, I don't need you to compliment me back. I'm complimenting you because of something I feel, something I see, something I notice. It's not because I'm looking for a compliment back. I think that's a really, really big tool that we keep forgetting. If someone insults you, you may insult them back if you're kind of on a negative thought track, but in most situations, you don't say anything back. You absorb it and let it eat you up inside. Accepting a compliment sometimes feels like it's the pressure of it. And that's what we have to stop putting ourselves on. When someone tells you a compliment, it's not pressure. It's just something that you need to receive and say thank you and move on. The brain is wired to notice threats more than safety. So one negative word feels heavier than 10 positive words. And so it's very easy for us to naturally absorb negativity, even if someone who we don't even know, they don't really like us, or we don't really care that much about their opinions, but they still say something, it's going to stick 10 times more than if someone just said a positive word to you. If someone insults us in the very place that we already doubt ourselves, it's going to land harder. So if someone insults you in a place that you already feel less about yourself, it's going to really, really sting. If someone insulted me on my muscle tone or working out or something like that, it's not going to sting because I feel pretty confident in that arena. But if someone was to insult me and maybe in something I didn't feel that confident about, I would naturally want to hold on to that, and I would ruminate with it, and it would actually cause me to start insulting myself. Insults create emotional pain that the brain flags as important. And this one is really important because I think we want to try and avoid or resist or pretend like they don't matter, but it actually does matter because it's just a flag that goes off in our brain as that person said something negative to me. I'm going to flag it as an important thing, and it's going to keep replaying over and over and over. Some of the ways that you can decide that you're going to accept a compliment, that we're not going to let the insults bother us, is that when someone says anything nice about you or gives you a compliment, just say thank you. Don't downplay it. Don't explain yourself. Just say thank you. That is something to practice in a lot of areas of our lives, that we don't have to explain or justify why we do something, why we wear something, why we look a certain way or whatever it is, like we can just say thank you and move forward. So practice just saying thank you in your life, and along with that, not giving a compliment back just because you received one. Write down the nice things that people have said about you. Sometimes it's very easy for us to forget that people have said nice things, and it's very easy for us to think, oh, no one ever says anything nice about us. That's not a true statement if we really, really sit down and think about it. So journal out what people have said to you that are nice, and let your brain start remembering those things. When someone does insult you, one of the first things you can ask yourself is this a true statement, what they're saying? Or is this about their pain and not me? We all know the old story. When someone says something mean to you, it's really them reflecting on themselves, right? Nice people don't say mean things to other people. Hurt people hurt people. We know this. When people insult you, you have to really take it in and understand that this is a lot more about them than it does about you. So when someone insults you and you ask yourself, is this a true statement? And the answer is no, you have to be able to let it go. Also, when it comes to compliments, this is something that I have found in my life. I love doing this. It's practicing giving compliments. Practice giving compliments to other people. Practice noticing things about other people you like, whether it's the color of their shirt, maybe it's the hairstyle, or maybe it's just their smile. Maybe it's just the way that they walk into a room, or something that they said that you really liked. The more you can practice giving compliments, the more you're going to be able to accept compliments when they come to you. So this is just a really good reminder, especially for us women. I think we probably have this a little bit. We struggle with this more than men do in some ways, that it is really hard for us to just accept compliments, but it is very easy for us to hang on to an insult. So remember, next time that you give a compliment, give it with a smile and give it with the expectation that that person is going to just receive the words you say and move on. And when you receive a compliment, say thank you genuinely and be grateful for that compliment, because it's just adding more value to your value bank on how you see yourself. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here and for choosing to be a little louder, a little braver, and a whole lot more you. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love it if you subscribed, left a review, or shared it with someone who needs it. Until next time, keep tuning in to the fire inside. Stay unquiet.